What up, y'all? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Brothers. I'm your host, A.P.E. Walker, Grow Up. Get more than that. Thank you guys for being here. Being a part of thank you guys. Turn this down a little bit. There you go. Welcome, guys. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I'm A.P.E. Walker, the Grow and Motivator. Thank you for rocking with us. I know we weren't here yesterday. Take an extra day, do some thinking, some planning. But welcome back. Welcome. Thank you, Mama, for a great morning to you. Blessings, Lisa. Thank you for always being here. So again, we appreciate you guys for rocking with us and always being a part of what we do each and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So today, we're dealing with the ape in your life. And you're like, what is the ape? Ape is arrogance, pride, and ego. Arrogance, pride, arrogance. Again, the action. Pride and ego. So we're going to have a great conversation today. Our brothers will be here a little later. So I'm going to kick this conversation off. But again, this is your opportunity to share. Because guess what? We already know. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. So today I just need you to do that. Make sure you share. If you're on the YouTube space, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. You know how we do. Helps the all algorithms of that space, as well as if you're on the Facebook space, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the thumbs up, make sure you hit the follow, hit the bell notification. Let everybody know that the brothers are in the building. In the building. All right. What else? What else? So again, I appreciate you. So be sure to do that. See this? Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. All right. So we'll be. I wonder if y'all see that. That's interesting. Let's see. So all right, we're gonna get into it. Without further ado, breathe in, breathe out. So it's gonna be a great day. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I think someone looks like they're trying to come in. Good morning, Kita. Good morning, Kita. Appreciate you. Pray that you guys have had an amazing weekend, amazing Monday. Thank God it was Monday. Made it through. We're in Tuesday. Thankful Tuesday. No, tasty Tuesday. No, depending on where you're at. So we appreciate you guys for being here. Listen, what I need you to do though is definitely share, and continue. And thank you for your support though. Real talk. Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you for all the people that come through on the replay. Thank you for those that are watching in the background. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to kick this off. And I think he's ready. He's on the road to riches. Nope, he's gone. He's gone. So today again, let's see, let's put this up. Today we're talking about dealing with the ape in our life or in your life. That is the arrogance, the pride, and the ego. But it's funny, right? When I first started thinking about this topic, because I just recently caught that acronym, and I was like, you know what, let's talk about that. Is it all bad? Is it all bad to have these three in your life? Is it all bad? Because I was doing some definitioning, some Googling, and is it all bad? Or can a little bit be good for you? Just a little bit of it. Can it be good for you? Because in defining these terms, arrogant, pride, and ego, And you always, if you never heard the acronym of ego, another acronym, ego meaning edging God out, it always comes off as the worst thing in the world. All right. So we're going to go ahead, get started without further ado. We got Pastor in the building. We got Cool G Rap, who's on the road to the riches. All right. So let's go ahead, kick this off. Un momento, por favor. And once I find it, we'll be right back. Remember, it's quick, so be ready.
You're watching the Brothers of Legacy. We don't stand out. We stand up.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
Yes, indeed.
Morning. Happy Tuesday.
Happy
Yes.
Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Oh, wow. He went weird. Okay. You better. I ain't even mad at you. And he clapped, man. Oh,
Stevie Wonder ain't blind, right? Stevie Wonder ain't
blind. It doesn't make much sense.
Oh.
There ought to be a law against. Because I truly take offense to that expression of thinking you can sing now.
Well,
and then I made it much worse.
Tried it
by trying to sing a verse.
This is Freestyle Tuesday. Let's go. Oh, man.
Good morning, BOL family. Mom, Lisa, Keita, God bless you.
Thank you guys for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning. And we are back on the scene. So, I pray everybody's well, all is well. Kadeem, anything going down? Anything you wanted to share before we get started? Because there's always something burning. It's been a minute. We missed a day. It might be something burning inside that you want to share.
Before y'all get kicked off.
There you go. I would just make room for you, brother.
And this goes back to what the conversation you and I had, AD. It's getting closer and closer.
Are we doing Trump?
What?
We're getting closer.
He's convinced that he's going to jail. He's convinced that Trump is going to jail. Trump is not going to jail.
Getting closer and closer. But that's all I had, bro. That's all I had this morning.
Trump said he declassified everything, so he did nothing wrong.
Right. See?
First he said Hillary did it. Then he said Obama did it. Yeah. Now he says I declassified it.
Can't do it by yourself, though.
He did it somehow. I'm gonna say this, then we're gonna move on. One of the reasons I feel like he won't go to jail because he has one great leverage, at least right now, until election season. And the Dems will come over and slide him, say, hey, you go and disappear. We'll make all this go away.
It's already been said.
It'll happen. So
it's already been said.
Who said it?
His attorney has already told him if you decline running in 2024, all of this stops.
Goes away. Right. We'll make it go away.
But here's the thing. He says it has been years of witch hunts with him, and he's Teflon Don, right? Yeah. The reality is, how many presidents have we had with this many issues?
Right.
None. Zero. Hey.
At least in our lifetime. I'll say that. I'll give him that. At least in our lifetime, I don't know any president.
Hey, you can go all the way back to George Washington, Quincy Adams.
But your thing is, though, so what I'll say, so we can even get to an early morning fight. Most of it, like if you think about it, right? History records a certain thing, right? They record what a president does and kind of how he is. But if you really think about it, we don't really know how George Washington ruled. We don't know how most of the founding fathers ruled, because we didn't see the headlines, or even when newspapers started and TV was kicking. You're like, we don't know all of the scandals. We don't know all of the mess. You know what I'm saying? Like now Now it seems like Trump got a lot. I won't lie.
Come on now, bro.
But then, like, we don't know all the other stuff Richard Nixon has probably done outside of Watergate. We don't. I'm just saying, we get the highlights. If you think about as history, decades and decades, by now we just getting highlights. We just getting pieces, and some presidents that probably were the worst are looking better because of what's survived all these decades.
Come on now.
What has been allowed to be put in front of us all these decades. I'm just saying. We don't know what Trump is going to look like 50 years from now. 60. I'm just saying. I'm going to say January 6th is going to stick up there like this dude calls January 6th. That's going to be the narrative. That's going to stick.
You know who Andrew Jackson is, right?
I heard the name. Yes.
You know he had slaves, right?
I've heard that also.
He had kids by
deny it.
You know he had kids by slaves, right?
I've heard that as well.
All right. So that was way, 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 way back. All right.
Yeah, but that's all. But what else do you know?
I mean, but do you need to know any more? Do you need to know any more about Andrew Jackson? He had slaves and he had kids by him. Do you need to know anything else?
That don't mean
you need to know that it was all legal.
Hey,
that too.
So. Oh.
I'm just,
Hey, and see, I was not expecting Brian to co-sign that foolishness, but see, I already did.
No, I'm saying the world that they lived in, that they existed in this country, that was legal. I'm saying that's how crazy it is. But the reality is, yes, it's true. He did own slaves. He had children by slaves, but there was no law against it when he did it. And for that reason, and for that reason, they have been protected all these years. And to that point, you can't tell me that all these recent investigations and stuff into Trump are all a farce. What you can tell me is they protect their own.
Yeah.
That's what I'm sorry. What I will tell you is that they protect their own. So when I say he ain't going to jail, what did Trump just say to the Attorney General the other day? He asked him, what can I help you cool down the country because it's hot and things are going to get very dangerous. He's basically threatening the Attorney General that it's going to get crazier if y'all don't leave me alone.
Hey, you're probably right about that. Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that where it's at. Moving on.
But this does move into dealing with the ape in our life: arrogance, pride, and ego, and how it can drive us, how it can affect all the things around us, our relationships and things of that nature. And it's funny, when I started digging into this topic, and actually I got definitions, because Pastor always called me out, I need you to define arrogant. I'm like, you know what? He got me. I didn't define it. So I'm on top of it this morning.
Thank you.
But I realized, is it all bad? Is having a little arrogancy, a little pride, a little ego? Because based on definition, these things kind of mix up. You mix two colors together, you get a certain color. These things, you mix them up, they kind of equal a little bit of confidence. kind of fit into a confident space. All right, so we're gonna start with the first one, right? So if you're just jumping on, 8 means arrogant, pride, ego. And listen, just a quick shout out to my podcast people. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Make sure you rate and review. I need some. Appreciate you. Thank you. Because I see y'all. I see the numbers. Y'all there. I just need you to rate and review. If you've been listening up to this point, unless you're listening for something specific, let me know. Go to brothersoflegacy@gmail. You need something specific that you like. All right. Let's see. So arrogant, exaggerating or disposed to exaggerate one's own worth or importance, often by an overbearing manner, an arrogant official showing an offensive attitude of superiority. Arrogant. Now, exaggerating or disposed to exaggerate one's own worth. Now, do we do that? You know, let's take it to like when you get in a job. You know, like you got to take every little bit of stuff you've done. You know, at least you have a massive resume. You know, we know when we're going for at least that second or third job. You know, you've done some simple stuff. You kind of like, I got to make it look, sound better. You know, because I did a lot of stuff.
It's called tweaking it.
Tweaking it. There you go. I got to tweak it a little bit.
That's good.
Because let's keep it real. Because sometimes you work jobs like, man, I've done a lot. I've done some great stuff. But if you look at my actual role on paper, I don't do much. But in my job, I did a lot. You know, so I gotta somehow put that on the resume, put my position, and this is the stuff I did. You know, these are some of the things I covered. These are things I took care of. I saved this company several times. You know, like I kept members or customers from blowing up. You know, like I've done some cool. I've done some great stuff. So don't you want to kind of exaggerate a little bit as to what you do? You know, kind of highlight some of your accomplishments and things of that nature in order to get a favorable position or a new job? Would you say that's a little bit of, I need a little bit of arrogance? I need to be, you know, feeling good, or am I defining that wrong?
No, I think you can say I took out the trash, or you can say I made it possible for them to live in or exist in a healthy environment,
right?
Void of any foreign bacteria.
That's good.
I was a garbage man,
right.
But I didn't lie.
Right.
It wasn't overbearing. I didn't take it too far.
Exaggerate.
You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know.
Gotcha.
But that's, to me, that is the lint.
What's up, Sean?
When you're talking about picking at arrogance.
Right.
Right. I believe that when you embellish, see, to me, like, I don't see prettying up your resume as arrogance.
Okay.
Unless you're, I mean, is it possible to inflate your position to a point to where it's overbearing? I mean, I think that, because I mean, I've interviewed a lot of people and I've looked at a lot of resumes, and some of those resumes, like when you're familiar with the environment and the type of work, and someone is applying for it, you know the difference.
Gotcha.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, someone who was a novice in my industry would not understand my resume.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
But a high-end CIO would.
Right. See certain things that you've accomplished or done.
Right.
Like, oh, you've done this project.
I remember when I was young in my career. I remember when, you know, I wasn't always an engineer. There were times I was actually doing more selling than I was designing, you know, and I saw an opportunity for, I became an engineer, but then I saw this great opportunity for a sales job, right?
Okay.
And I tweaked my resume. I talked about my interaction with customers. I talked about my ability to bring in revenue, to close deals,
right?
You know, and I'm saying I did all those things, but I did them as an engineer, not a sales guy.
Right.
But when you're in a sales-driven environment, I've learned in sales-driven organizations, everybody's a salesman.
Right.
Period. From the CEO to the janitor, everybody better have an elevator pitch.
Right. Be able to sell yourself within 30 seconds. What about you, Coogee Rap?
Oh man, I agree with Brian, man. I mean, it's all about your experiences, because I mean, like, you may have formal education in something,
right?
But like he said, if you're applying for a different position, your experiences and your, I guess, your confidence, you're applying for it, so you must think you can do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if that's something that you want to go after, then you need to go ahead and tweak your resume
Right.
just to get an opportunity to have an interview.
Right.
If you don't ask for it, it's not gonna happen.
If they can
Nobody
put in your job description responsibilities include but are not limited to, then you can expand.
Right.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah, so,
That's good.
Yeah, so I agree with Brian on that one.
Nice. All right. So we talked about being arrogant, exaggerating, or disposed to exaggerate one's own worth or importance, right? The second thing in the ape is pride. Pride, the quality or state of being proud, such as an inordinate self-esteem, conceit, a reasonable or justifiable self-respect, delight or elation arising from some act.
So we only going to use one example of arrogance, just the resume? Because
I left more
examples of arrogance.
I left it there. Yep, and I moved on. Yep, we just said arrogance is fine. Arrogance is fine, guys. All right, let's go back then. Fine. Give me another example then.
Oh, because I don't feel like the resume was a really good example.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that was one way of highlighting arrogance where we felt like arrogance can work for you.
Yeah.
You know. So of
was
course,
is Deion Sanders arrogant?
That's a good question.
Is he now or was he then? Yeah.
Deion Sanders just said the Hall of Fame is so open now, he feels like he needs a different colored jacket because he's in a different category than some of the people they're letting in the Hall of Fame.
Is that arrogant?
He said you can't just be a good player for 10 years and get to the Hall of Fame. You have to be a player that changed the game.
Right.
I can't argue with him on that.
I can't either.
Okay, but he's speaking the truth.
Everything, all the trash he talked off the field, he backed up on the field. Deion Sanders was the kind of player where he shut down one half of the football field. You didn't throw in his direction because if you did, he was taking it to the house.
Wow.
He changed the game.
Right.
He did that.
Okay. So
Lawrence Taylor changed the game. He changed how offenses play defenses.
Yeah. You're right.
But we can admit that sometimes arrogant people can be annoying. Like, it could be what is it? Isn't it the overbearing? Overbearing manner in an arrogant official, feeling that superiority, that I'm just the best of the best of the best. And which may be true, but I guess it just oozes out in everything.
Is Antonio Brown arrogant?
Oh,
No, I can't answer much of these because I don't know. I don't really know these
guys.
Yeah.
I thought you knew it. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Let's make that clear. Yes.
Okay.
Arrogant. And Antonio Brown, that was a good example too, Brian. I must say, you brought up the right name.
Do you feel like for
those that don't know Antonio Brown,
right?
This is the gentleman who has been so arrogant that he campaigned his way out of the NFL. It's different when you campaign your way in. Right. He campaigned his way out.
He is every day walking a first ballot Hall of Famer. He could have been one of the greatest receivers to go down. And he is one of the greatest receivers in history. He's still
the best.
He won't get the glory because he's too arrogant.
Yeah.
He is probably still right now at probably 37, 34. I don't know how old he is.
In his 30s.
He would still be a top 5 receiver, if not top 10 in the league right now.
Okay, so I got a question, and then this may go.
But nobody wants him.
That's not really pride.
You're a worse version than T.O.
Gotcha. Terrell is.
Oh, wow, you said a worse version.
I know a little bit.
Now you know what T.O.'s arrogant.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now. Yeah. He's a worse version.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Do you feel like to a name that people probably know and probably could chime in on. Do you feel like Steve Harvey is arrogant based on what you've seen, based on how he operates? You know,
Steve Harvey he is so
that.
successful. He's so successful. It's hard to call him arrogant.
Yeah, I can't say.
Break that down, Pastor. Break that down. What do you mean by that? I think I do know what you mean.
Because everything that he set out to do, he's done.
Done it. Right.
Proud, confident.
Yeah. Yeah.
But arrogant, I can't say. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, can he be overbearing? Yes.
He loved me some meat. He said, I love me some meat. and Tio can still play. Wow. All right. Good morning, Sean. Oh, anyway, on here, y'all know Steve Harvey. Do you guys feel like he's arrogant? Or just his confidence just oozes high, because he always, especially now, like his confidence oozes. But if you hear his backstory, you'll understand, like, it's just, I don't take no shorts. I've been homeless. I've been through, yeah. He got that. Can't nobody tell me nothing. He said, "Can't nobody tell me."
I've done some folks wrong.
right.
But I think we all have. But just defining arrogance, I would say that I guess I wouldn't call him an arrogant person, but I would say that he has arrogance in him.
Okay.
There's been some seasons. There's been some statements. There's been some presentations but I think, to me, I think it comes with the territory of what he has done in his career.
Right. You
can't accomplish what he's accomplished without speaking highly and just going at it. I can't even call it cocky. I would say just high levels of confidence and the no quit attitude.
Right.
It's hard for me to place arrogance in that, because when you've done it,
right,
and you say, I'm one of the greatest to do it,
right,
and you are one of the greatest to do it, how can that be arrogance?
Yeah.
She said, I do wonder, or I don't wonder if, is he embellishing?
Steve Harvey?
Steve Harvey. Oh, I don't know. That's
could be.
Yeah. Interesting question.
But I'm saying, who determines the level of hard times?
Right.
Right. It's a relative statement.
Right.
Right.
True. That is true.
True.
Yeah. We say it in the church all the time. I don't look like what I've been through.
Right. Right.
You don't know what I've been through.
You don't know where I've been. If you knew where I've been, if you knew what I've seen. What's he say? Let's see.
I got you, Sean.
I don't think that. Oh, I don't think that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't think he's embellishing. Okay. So we kind of touched arrogant.
But forever, hey guys. Oh, that's Samantha.
That's Sam. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey
Sam.
So my question. And this may run into pride and ego.
You don't know who you said next.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
That's it right there.
You don't know?
That's it right there.
Do
you know who I am? In my Kevin Durant voice. I'm Kevin Durant.
Can I call myself the GOAT? Or is that a name that has to be given to me? Can I call myself the GOAT? You know why? I only thought about it.
Let me tell you something. I can't argue with that, because when Muhammad Ali said it, I believed it.
Did he call himself the GOAT?
Yeah. I am the greatest.
He did.
I am the greatest.
Right.
And at that time, he was.
Right.
But I'm like, yeah. But did you have to say it and keep saying it?
But you know what? And it's so funny. Okay, so I guess in the competitive space, like if I'm in the space to talk junk, of course, nobody. If I fought 3 people and I beat 3 of them, I am undefeated. I am the most like I'm going hard. Like no one can beat me. So I guess.
I think it has more weight if others call you the GOAT.
Right.
Yes.
Right. 100%.
Yes.
100%.
That's my philosophy on life. The greatest testimony about me won't be told by me. It'll be told by someone whose life I impacted.
Right.
And I tell people that all the time. You shouldn't have to say it.
Right. Yeah.
Your work says it.
Yeah.
You know.
100%. And I only thought about one time. And I'm not taking nothing away because she's amazing. Simone Biles, she had a jacket that had the GOAT written on the back. And I'm like, well,
she did that. She did that.
Yeah.
In what I don't know. It's funny. It started out as sarcasm.
Oh, okay.
For the haterism that she was getting.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Right. So I like to be. Yeah, that's Sean. I like to be known. I guess, known as a quiet assassin. Say that right. You got to watch you. Oh, I can call myself whatever I want. I don't care how you feel about it.
I love her. That's my girl right there.
All right. So, all right. Can we move on now, Pastor? We done called it out. All arrogant. Let's talk about.
Listen, Sean Rollins is being unfair.
Oh.
Because he says, I like to be known as a quiet assassin. You know, he didn't plan it that way. Yeah. That's just his personality.
Yeah.
And we called it out. So he can say it now because we called it out.
Right.
So you don't get that, Sean. I'm not giving that to you.
Right.
We gave that to you.
So just so y'all know, golf, spades, and pool. Don't play with Sean Rollins. don't let his quiet demeanor fool you.
You can play. You can play if you want to.
Well, I'm definitely not gonna challenge him on golf.
Right.
But them last two.
Right.
I'm gonna raise my hand up on that one.
Well, you got to have a good partner too now.
I'm gonna raise my hand up on that.
Not a single game in that. It's not a single game.
Hey, Sam. Hey, Sam. Hey, Sean.
Eva said you can say you're the best of your peers or of your era, but the title of GOAT has to be given, right?
That's good.
It can only be respected from someone else who is a GOAT-like caliber, who's of a GOAT-like caliber.
Oh, the greatest calling you the greatest. I got
you. Yeah. I think it means much more.
I think it means more because we call people great all the time. Who is the greatest of all time? We debate it all the time. But when another great calls you that, it just rings. It carries so much weight.
That's like Magic Johnson saying Michael Jordan is the greatest to ever play the game.
Right. That's huge.
Because he played before Michael, he played with Michael, and he has watched the game after Michael.
Right.
I think those people are the most qualified to me. Right. Now you do have those that live in the past and don't think the players of today could handle yesterday's game.
True.
Right.
That's true.
But I would venture to say that there are folks in the past that couldn't handle the speed of today. But their argument will be, well, if I had the same trainers and the same equipment and the same vitamins and workout regime and all that kind of stuff, I could have been, stop it.
Right.
The game has evolved.
Right.
Business has evolved. Right. Les Brown, as famous and successful as he is, he could, you could blank the history and start today, and he would still be great because of his work ethic.
Oh, right.
Right. I feel like it has nothing to do with the season. I feel like it has everything to do with your work ethic. See, being great is a state of mind. I love what Malcolm Gladwell said in his book, Outliers. In the book Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell talks about the 10,000 hour rule. Right. When you've put 10,000 hours into something, you should have perfected it.
Right.
Or gotten as close to perfection as you can. He talked about the average age of NBA champions was like 29 years old, because by the time somebody was 29, they had mastered the art of basketball. So the nucleus of any championship team was at least 29, somewhere in the range of 29 years old. If you look back historically, at least when the book was written, times have changed now because you can shoot from further back. And when children start shooting the basketball from the 3-point line at 7 years old, and you become a Steph Curry, You don't have to be 6'8", 220.
Right.
You can be 6'5", 190 if you can shoot from anywhere on the court. You can survive in today's game because it's not as physical.
Right.
But I would dare say you wouldn't see Steph Curry 25 years ago on anybody's basketball court.
Right. And
The reality is you probably wouldn't have even seen him starting on the college team.
right. It said those era debates are so hard because you'll never be able to completely solve them. Right. All versus Tyson, his prime will never happen, but just try to be the most dominant in your time. True indeed.
Yeah.
But what I love is the interview with Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali on the couch together.
Yeah.
And who was it? Arsenio Hall asked him who would win between you guys.
Right.
Muhammad pointed to Mike, and Mike was like,
pointed.
no, we bow down.
Right.
He literally, and I'm saying that is greatness.
Yeah.
That's greatness.
100%. 100%. All right. So let's talk about the pride of life. The quality of state of being proud, such as an inordinate self-esteem, conceit, reasonable or justifiable self-respect, and delight or elation arising from some act. Pride cometh before the fall. So, pride, is it good to be proud of yourself? Uh-oh. What was it? Don't sleep. Don't sleep on my skills. Nobody's sleeping. So is it wrong to be prideful?
No.
Okay. But when does it become too much?
When it becomes arrogance.
Immature that grows up into arrogance.
When it becomes something else, yeah.
when it becomes a stumbling block.
Right. I think when it becomes so much that you can't either do something different or move from a position because I got this, we're gonna make it happen this way. This is the only way. I've done this before. I've succeeded this way. I've done it. This is how it works. It's always worked this way, and I'm kind of stuck and I won. This is how I win. Just this way. And the pride of not wanting to let it go or not realizing my way is not gonna work this time. I think that's when it becomes an issue. Having so much pride that you can't let something go, you can't listen to someone else. I think that it seemed like, can we honestly say sometimes that's the downfall of some of the athletes? They're just so prideful in their lifestyle and things that they're doing. This always works, and they can't hear anybody else. I think that is one of our biggest issues, that pride. And who are you to tell me, like anything, let's see. Sam says, I know you moved on, but when you wait for people to tell you you're the GOAT for it to matter to you, then folks can tell you when you're not that anymore. Wow. I said that I don't let others define me. That's a slippery slope.
Well, I think there's a difference between acknowledging someone's greatness and the category of greatest of all time. Right? I think that the conversation about greatest of all time, it's hard for me to even take that, the term GOAT, it's hard for me to take that seriously, basically because of what Ephraim talked about, the different eras.
Right.
There are other people who have done it and they were the best at it when they were doing it. You might be the favorite today,
right?
But if I put all of y'all in a bucket and shook it out, in a sift and shook it out, I don't know who's going to come out.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I still feel like, this whole, again, I take it back. The most common area to take it back to is sports.
Right.
This LeBron James versus Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
LeBron James has had sustained success for 20 years,
right,
almost in the league.
Right.
Michael Jordan never lost in the finals. Michael Jordan was the most ego-driven,
right,
but determined individual on the basketball court.
Right. Right.
in his time.
Right.
And I would dare say, historically, he is probably the most determined individual to ever play the game.
Right. Yeah.
Because he just refused to lose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make him the greatest player? I don't know, but I think it makes him one of the greatest champions.
Right. Right. I think especially when it comes to, like you said, the era debates, things change, right? So, Jordan made a way with the equipment and the things that he had. Then, as technology progressed, sneakers changed, the ball changed, the field, the court changed, things change to the, one for the better, and then sometimes for the challenge. Like now, like back in the day, the who was it? I can see it, the Pistons. You get hacked to death. You get beat up, beat down. And it was part of the game. Now you would lose a game trying to play that way. There'll be so many fouls. You'll foul most of the team out. And, now they have to play so sensitive. That's a whole nother way of thinking. And like you said, now the 3-point shooting is more popular. People have gotten better. So it is hard to define, especially because of different eras. I always think about, I've heard of, let's do a podcast, the first guy to go up the Himalaya mountains. He went up there, it took him like a couple of days or whatever. Now, like decades later, it happens in a few hours. Why? Because he set the trail. So someone followed the trail quicker, then someone else got more technology, followed it, So
well, here's the thing. You think about this. When he accomplished it, let's say it took him, 18 hours to get to the top. Right. And so he created a path for you to do it. And what that did was, it didn't just get people to start climbing the mountain. It got people to start training differently. It took him X amount of time to get up to this component. So let me practice climbing that distance or that height before I start the second phase. Right. He chopped it up into phases. And what people did is they started training based on those phases.
Yeah.
And it made it easier.
Right. So he said his abilities define him. I said late to the party. People just forgot how dominant Kareem was. Kareem was. Just watching Legacy about the Lakers. People sleep on how dominant Magic was. Indeed. Lakers was a super team. Boston was a super team. Okay.
Yeah, I think that the big three started with those kind of teams.
Right.
You think about it. I mean, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman.
Right.
You could just shift a couple of pieces, but if you had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, it didn't matter who you put next to them.
Right.
Because it was Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant.
Right.
It was Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Bill Winnington.
Right.
It's but again, I still feel like, when we talk about people who changed the game, like Michael Jordan changed the game, we haven't seen another Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Right.
You haven't seen it. Who moves with the type of finesse and dominance that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did? Nobody. There is not a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the league today.
Right.
But Kobe was the second coming of Michael Jordan.
Would you say, Kareem?
No, I was commenting on what Brian said about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I said it hadn't been one since he left.
Wow.
I mean, like literally. As far as a dominant person with finesse, it may have been. I'm not trying to say he was anything close to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm just saying it may have been.
All right.
Akeem Olajuwon.
Okay.
But he ain't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm just saying. I mean,
that's fair.
Shaq is his own. You can't compare Shaq.
That's a different kind of player.
Yeah, you can't compare Shaq to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody. Nobody who's ever played the game. You can't. Not even Moses Malone was Shaq.
I think Shaq and LeBron James are in the same category.
Okay.
As in terms of physical dominance.
Right.
You
Well,
have to get out of Shaq's way. You have had to get out of LeBron James' way.
Wow.
yeah, but LeBron is at 3-point line. He's shooting shots. And Shaq was never a shooter.
No.
Yeah, but what all I'm saying is the physical LeBron learned to shoot the three in his career, but you still can't stop him coming up the court like a freight train. You have to get out of the way.
Wow.
What has made LeBron James famous is how he has changed and shifted and elevated his game. But one thing that remains true is that when you see LeBron coming with a full head of steam, you have to get out of the way.
Wow.
Period.
Yeah.
Same thing with Shaq. You got to get out of the way or you're going to get hit.
Right. I said Michael changed the game because he was the first player that removed his inadequacies. That's what made him great.
Right. Michael Jordan was not a three-point shooter, and they said it. So what did he do? He went out and made like 7 3-pointers in a game against who was it? Portland.
Let's see.
They compared him to Clyde Drexler. What did he do? He just went off.
Right.
He made so many shots. He just like
right.
what I do.
Right.
You said I don't shoot threes. Okay, here's some 3-pointers for you.
Right. All right. So we talked about arrogance. We talked about pride. Let's talk about ego. Someone's ego is their sense of their worth. For example, if someone has a large ego, they think they are very important and valuable. Very important and valuable. I guess that's that this job can't find me. They need me. They can't.
You leave me, you'll never be happy again.
Right.
Right.
No one's gonna love you like I do. Can't nobody do what I do.
Hey, I've said that many a days.
And ended up single, huh?
Hey, I'm married. You know what I'm saying? I say it to my wife all the time.
Oh, well, listen. Here's the thing. I say it to my wife. I say it to my wife all the time. Well, not all the time, but I've said it enough times to where if I said it wouldn't be a surprise.
Exactly. Hey, you ain't gonna find nobody out here better than me, girl.
I tell men they look, oh, your wife is fine. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey man, that dude over there trying to talk to your woman, he can talk. He might get her, but he'll bring her back. Just give it a few hours. This woman right here, oh yeah, you'll bring her back.
So the question is then, is ego a bad thing? Is ego a bad thing? So, and like that last one, right? The last part of this, someone has a large ego. They think they are very important and valuable. I guess shouldn't you feel valuable?
Yes.
Then that like your worth, I'm worth getting paid this. I'm worth this space. I'm worth, this time or whatever. So is ego always a bad thing? Of course, there's, like I said, in everything we're speaking about, there is an overdoing of a particular trait, like we talk about arrogant, being prideful, and having that ego. Can it be too much? Can it be, or can a little bit not be bad? I'll say it that way.
But ego is self-reflection though, right?
I think
yes.
That's what you think about yourself.
Right.
Yeah, I know I got a huge ego.
It's the big.
That don't mean everybody else thinks the same way about me.
Well, I think it just depends, right? When you think about it, it's all about you in comparison to others. You think you're better than somebody else.
Right.
Ego becomes a problem when you start elevating yourself above other people, looking down your nose at people, that conceited mindset, that high-minded individual,
That goes back to arrogance though, don't it?
Yeah, I think
all kind of run together. They
don't all run together.
Okay.
Because a good, healthy sense of pride is great.
Right.
But a good, healthy sense of arrogance,
So Sean says the question is, can you back up what you say? Do your actions match?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when you elevate yourself and elevating yourself equates to belittling others,
right?
You got too much ego.
Right. When your ego pushes everybody out the room.
because
true.
you can be great as long as you don't think other people are not. Right? There's nothing wrong with feeling like you got it going on. I think I'm cool. I call myself Superman, but that doesn't make you underdog because I call myself Superman. You should call yourself Superman too.
Yeah.
You know,
Interesting.
I'm Superman 1 and you Superman 2.
I was waiting for it. I knew it was coming. I knew it was.
How you look at yourself, everybody ain't gonna look at you like that. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah. You might think you are the livest thing walking, but everybody else ain't gonna look at you like that.
Yeah. I just hope, but look, at least as long as my family thinks so. But I think a healthy sense of pride is great.
Okay.
I believe that you can. I don't think there's anything wrong with having ego. I think there's something wrong with having too much ego. What did he say? Oh, Sam said we can't all be great.
We can't all be great. Somebody has got to do it. Why can't it be me? Right. That's funny. Like what we saying, Pastor said, a healthy sense of you said what, pride or arrogance?
Yeah, healthy sense of pride to me is a good thing.
Okay.
I just don't allow your healthy sense of pride to start turning into arrogance. And I think everybody has some level of ego. I just believe that. But I don't think that your ego should be to the point to where you elevate yourself, but you
belittle others,
lower others.
Right. That's deep.
Yeah, I've always been humble, but I've always believed in myself also.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's good. That's good.
The people that are never wrong.
Yeah, I know them people.
It's never enough.
Right. He said, Sean says that's like me saying I can shoot light out and go 0 for 10, or I'm a great bowler and can't go over 100, or a good golf but lose 5 golf balls in a round. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I've lost 5 golf balls in a round.
That part.
You know what's funny is all of this. We have examples of all 3 of these areas to the extreme. When we look at the former president of the United States.
Oh wow,
yeah.
You're right about that. I wasn't even thinking about him, but yeah, you're right. He got all 3 of them to the extreme.
Yes.
I mean, always want more, never wrong.
Never wrong.
Yeah, I mean, everybody else is wrong. It's always somebody else's fault.
Y'all are all beneath me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He is the greatest of all time.
If I'm wrong, it's because the game was rigged.
Right. Y'all heard me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody gonna confront him about what did he say? What was the thing he contradicted himself on? The many things, but when he was saying about not pleading the fifth.
Oh yeah. And they got all the
man, I love it.
You're guilty. Just go straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Just go to jail.
Right.
I mean, like how
oh man,
how wild is that?
Right.
All those clips on a campaign stage, and you got just clip after clip after clip after clip.
Right.
I can go out on Central Avenue and kill somebody and steal and get away with it. Those are his words.
Yeah, that was
also his words. If I ever run for president, I'll run as a Republican because you can tell them anything.
Right.
And he did that.
And he's done it, doing it. He didn't. He not did it.
Did we talk about that? Then ain't he like the GOAT politician? He done it. Everything he said, he done.
I think that's beyond
building the wall. He's the greatest. Oh man. So we appreciate you guys for rocking and hanging with us. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Make sure you share because sharing is caring. And if you have not joined our text community, text LW into 84576. Text LW into 84576. We appreciate you guys for being here, rocking with us. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am A.D. Walker. To my left, right is Pastor Brian A. McCrory Sr. And right at the bottom is Kadeem Road to the Riches Curve. If you don't know who Coogee Rap is, okay, I won't cut you off because Coogee Rap was really 90s. That was, yeah. You may not know who Coogee Rap is. Definitely not. Yeah. All right. So we appreciate you guys for being here, rocking with us. Another edition of Brothers Legacy. Continue to stay safe. Again, if there's a mental health crisis or someone around is having a mental health crisis, dial 988-988 for help. All right. It's kind of from what my understanding, an alternative to 911 for mental health situations or issues that you feel like are a mental health crisis. All right. Appreciate you, Mama McCrory. Thank you as always.
As always.
We look forward to seeing you. Know that we love you. God loves you more. Continue to stay safe. And we will see you in the AM. Peace out.
Bam.